Hey guys, we are going into Mecha Asta for an rank 1 clear with this party. So I don't have the EX levels to do the clear I want to do, so I ended up doing this. Threw a couple crowns at Yuna to strengthen her anima field, but party order here is important, and just to call it out, Richt and 2B are starting in the shift form, and Yuna is starting in the shift form. So Espers, it is important that we have Anima somewhere in the party and Phoenix somewhere in the party. Preferably Phoenix on somebody other than Yuna. So going through the gearing, Melissa's passive provoke evade with some counter up from Blizzard Orb and just a counter materia, just to hopefully cure zombie where we can. Kind of hard to manage. Just because the boss doesn't do physicals every turn, and she puts up an undispellable re-raise, which if zombie is cast on someone that has re-raise, it's like instant death, but we'll deal with it. So, but yeah, just high spirit other than passive provoke evade and some counter materia, hairpin of purity for some status ailment resistance. Richt, geared the same in both forms, just chain speed up, and so max machine, max dragon, max reaper, max LB. So yeah, there we go. And this card, is that Ibarra's card? I forget if that was a banner card or her own card. I'm guessing her own card. Yeah, pretty sure. Anyway, Abigail, just high spirit, high HP. Didn't really pay attention to status or its elemental resistances. I think the boss does lightning and dark later in the fight, but she tanks it fine. And mine is at EX3. We are kind of relying, well, her SLB is in the rotation, so I'm not sure it's perfectly timed, but it's, in the rotation I have built. It's in there. Yeti combat style, just for more counter healing. Philosopher's Stone Seeker for some preemptive regen. And her own card. And I forget if I showed it, but Melissa has her own card as well. 2B, just max machine, max dragon, max reaper, max LB. And we'll just give her Zax's gloves in the shift form. We don't need that preemptive break. Then there's her materials, and she has her own card. Ibarra has Rick's card, so yeah, same thing. Just max machine, max dragon, max reaper, max LB, geared the same in both forms. Then Yuna, base form, LB fill rate up, LB fill per turn up. Dragon's Brush for preemptive LB fill. Lion Emblem just to help with LB fill if needed. Zidane's STMR. Actually, she doesn't even need that in the base form. Ended up not using that, so we'll go with Advanced Weaponry for some more preemptive LB fill. Call of the Wild. Eye of the Dragon for EN chaining. If you don't have that, just give her Dwayne's Sword if you have it, or the what's his name? The Kyo card if you have it. Just some source of EN chaining, hopefully you might have. And make sure she's not dual wielding. Shift form, just a lot of old school morale fill type stuff. So MP refresh, HP refresh, that sort of thing, and a lot of Esper fill. But Zidane's STMR in the shift form. And then Wilk's card for morale fill. Just give her a morale fill card. So we will, in order, you do want Richt higher in the party order than 2B and Ibarra. Yeah, actually, I think you might be better off. We'll try this. No, we'll leave it. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. So the boss did put a healing reduction on the party, so we're going to get rid of that with Haitian Recovery on Melissa. And then she'll put up Shelga and Kiraga. So that's first in the order. Abigail is just going to put up Omni Cover this turn. And then just Kiraga twice, just to top herself off. Richt in the shift form is going to perfect dispel and then just do both of his breaks. 2B in the shift form is going to put up Mirage and then Machine Killer twice. Ibarra is going to give us a Darken View and then a Noon and Wish of Vengeance for stat buff and Darken Peril. And Yuna can summon Anima. Alright, so this turn Melissa is going to use Curse Control for a little bigger Dark Amp, Shared Immunity, and then Chronic Flow. Abigail this turn is just going to put up regular cover and then do both of her breaks. Richt is going to shift at LB. 2B is going to Machine Killer 3 times just for morale fill in the shift form still. Inibar is going to shift and Demonic Cleave 3 times. And Yuna is going to start singing. So we'll chain these 3. You do want to squeeze as much damage as you can, going for leading up into the burst turn. Which, I don't know. I mean, I would have to math it out. Dragon Killer on that turn might be better than that 10% more Dark Amp out of Melissa, but... Okay. So I do want to point out, the wiki says that there's supposed to be a cast of zombie on that turn, which I'm not sure there is. Because whoever was cast on should have died and there were no deaths there. But the point being, if zombie gets cast on somebody and then there's some counters out of Melissa and Abigail, I think, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm assuming whoever's higher in the party order, the counters go off first. So if that's the case, then Melissa would counter first and get rid of any zombie that's cast on everyone. But as it stands, the turns that have zombie and a physical don't necessarily line up per se. So you're not always going to get a counter out of Melissa to cure zombie. And phase 2 is just kind of a mess anyway, just with double zombie turns and stuff, but that's just kind of an aside. But getting back into the clear, Melissa's going to do Abyssal Blessing for the Rolling Dark Amp. She's going to give Dragon Killer over to Richt, and then do Parasol Shield. Abigail's going to SLB. Richt is going to Bolting Strike 3 times in the he's going to do his EN skill. Ibarra is going to go to the base form and do her base form LB. And 2B is going to do her shifted LB. So we'll send Richt and Ibarra. Let's see, we do want to activate our attack and magic buff from the morale bar. Well, we'll do Richt and Ibarra, and then 2B immediately after. Okay, so let's see. Melissa is going to give Dragon Killer over to 2B. She's going to do All-Consuming Darkness just to reduce the boss's healing at the threshold, and then Darkga for some morale gain. Richt is going to, in the shift form, just Bolting Strike 3 times. 2B is going to the base form to Bolting Strike 3 times. And Ibarra is going to shift, and she'll do Demonic Cleave twice. And then Demonic Retribution. We're going to save her big 150 amp for phase 2, just so we can push through that a little quicker. And Abigail, this turn, is going to Perfect Dispel the boss with enemy data analysis. It put up an attack and magic buff, so we want to get rid of that. Then we'll do SP Drone type L for Light Imperil, so she can chain, and then just a Magic and Spirit Break. So do our attack and magic buff, and we'll just chain these 3. Hopefully end up around 70% or so. Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna, so Yuna's forced back into the base form. She's gonna do her LB. There's a 160 Reaper killer on that for the party. Melissa's gonna give Dragon Killer over to Richt. What else? We can just Darkga and Bardarkja just as something to do. Richt can base form LB. We will mirror equity 3 times with Abigail to chain with Richt. 2B can base form LB, and Ibarra can shift at LB. So we're going to send Richt and Abigail just to build the chain quick, and then once it's built, send Ibarra and 2B. Did that break? Yeah, we hit cap anyway. Okay, phase 2, the fun phase. So we'll do that. So the boss put up undispellable buffs on itself and a dark absorb. So Abigail can get rid of the dark absorb with Drone type F. What else is she doing? Drone type F, just putting up cover because we got dispelled. And then Shelga. Richt can get rid of the undispellable buffs with Moment of Weakness. And then just do his breaks. 2B can shift and give us Mirage and Machine Killer twice. Ibarra can go back to the base form, and she'll just repeat turn 1. So just Darkga, Anoon, and Wish of Vengeance. Yuna can LB to just refresh Reaper Killer. And then Melissa is going to refresh Dragon Killer on, we'll do Richt, shared immunity for the poison and sleep resist, and then Bard Darkja. On these two. So if Yuna's LB wasn't full, that Bard Darkja would hopefully help top her off. Okay, so Richt this turn is going to do his shifted LB for the Sword Imperil. 2B is going to the base form. And we will Bolting Strike 3 times. Abigail is going to SLB. Yuna can, let's see, just refresh the anima field. Ibarra can shift, and we will Demonic Cleave twice, and then Sukiyo. And Melissa can give Dragon Killer over to 2B. What else? Curse Control for a little bigger Dark Amp. And yeah, seems good. And then just in Dark Guy for morale fill. So we'll just send these 3 together. Okay, so do our attack and magic buff. Ibarra is going to do her base form LB. Yuna is going to chain EN with Ibarra. Richt is going to chain Extreme Nova as well from his skill. And then 2B is going to do her base form LB. Melissa is going to give Dragon Killer over to Richt. Seconds of support over to 2B just because she double dips on it. And then just in Darkga again. Abigail this turn is just going to refresh her cover and breaks. Okay, so we're going to send... We'll do Ibarra and Yuna first, just to get Katana Imperil in place for 2B, and then we'll do Richt and 2B. Actually, we'll just do these 3. We'll do Richt, Ibarra, and Yuna together, and then 2B once the chain builds. Having all 3 of them chained together should build the chain pretty quick. Let's see who dies here. Who we losing? Okay, Ibarra and Yuna. That's exactly who died the last clear I was doing, where I forgot to record with audio. So, but yeah, that works out pretty well. If Abigail had died, well, if Melissa dies, that's the big thing. Abigail could summon Phoenix, or Yuna could summon Phoenix just to get Abigail back, or to get Melissa back. Ideally, we'd want to save Abigail's actions for something else, but if it came down to it and Melissa and Yuna both died, you could use Abigail to summon Phoenix and get them back alive. But we'll just, yeah, I mean, from here out is kind of where you play it by ear, but we'll just roll with it. So first thing, we need Melissa to bring the other two back. So we're gonna full life with Melissa to revive them. We'll start the rolling dark amp of Abyssal Blessing, and then Minutes of Might for a stat buff. Richt can, let's see, he will shifted LB. 2B is going to Bolting Strike 3 times in the shift form, just to get the Machine Killer back on Ibarra. And Abigail can, we need another Perfect Dispel this turn, so enemy data analysis, Shelga, and contingency plan just for a rolling morale fill. So we'll give a attack buff to them. We'll chain these two up. So Richt is shifted right, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna LB Yuna for the Reaper Killer on Ibarra. Melissa can this turn, let's see, what does she do? And she can in Darkga for some morale fill. Dragon Killer on Ibarra, I guess, and just shared immunity. Abigail can SLB. And Richt is going to Perfect Dispel, do the big Weapon in Peril and Bolting Strike. 2B can do her base form LB, or base form Bolting Strike a few times. And Ibarra can shift and do Bolting Strike 3 times and just end with her cooldown. So we'll activate our attack and magic buff. So we'll send Richt, let his Weapon in Peril and Perfect Dispel fall, and then send the other two. Alright, so this turn, so there's another zombie this turn, so we'll attack and magic buff. So Abigail can just chain Mirror of Equity 3 times again. Richt can base form LB. Does he need Dragon Killer? I believe so, yes. So Melissa is going to give Dragon Killer over to Richt. What else is she doing? We'll do Uncontrollable Darkness, just in case. And you want to avoid Parasol Shield in this phase. It gives an AoE re-raise to everyone. Then we'll just Shelga, I guess, with Melissa. Yuna can chain EN with everyone, well, with 2B, I guess. And Ibarra can base form LB, get all those killers on herself. So we'll send Richt and Abigail. Actually, let's think. We have a big store ability. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just base form LB with Ibarra, because no matter what, I mean, even if she gets zombied this turn, she's not going to die because re-raise was wiped. So we'll send the front row and then the back row. So if nothing else, there's our, chain count. I forget if we got it before or not. Let's see who gets zombied. Yuna. Okay, that's fine. I think we should be able to clean the boss up here. Let's shift Ibarra and do her bolting strike 3 times. 2B can just base form bolting strike. Richt can shifted bolting strike 3 times. Actually, come to think of it, what can Yuna do here? We can get some LB fill out of her. We'll just pretend like we're not this close. But then again, we could potentially fill everyone's LB and just pop off another LB. We'll try that. So Yuna can rallying cry. Does the boss have any buffs? No. So Abigail, you are going to bar Faraja twice, and I guess just refresh cover. We'll do Omni cover. And Melissa, you can curse control for dark imbue on everyone, and then bar Darkja twice. Okay, so base form LB 2B, base form LB Richt, and shifted LB Ibarra. And we'll see what this does. Sorry guys, my video cut off. So we're on turn 12. We just filled everyone's LB. We're going to try to cap the boss. So we're going to try to chain Richt and 2B. Hopefully the chain doesn't break. So I think if we just send everyone together, we should be all right. So here goes. Yeah, I got it. I mean, it wasn't super clean. Yeah, I should have clicked Richt and 2B first, or maybe 2B and then Richt, just to get the tag chain going before the triple mirror of equity, but it worked. So here is a clear on this headache of a fight. So yeah, the final morale value score is bugged, but I mean, you saw that I had full morale, but yeah, Ibarra was, no, actually, I guess Richt and Ibarra were pretty even there. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of, just chaining throughout the fight. But yeah, it's kind of sad that 2B is starting to show her age here. Really liked using her, but anyway, there it is. Yeah, rank 1 clear on this headache of a fight without Elena or Malphasie. I mean, really did want to do a Malphasie clear, but I think this worked out pretty decently with Yuna. So, I mean, rank 1's rank 1. So, there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this gave you some ideas, maybe, if nothing else. So, later.